Hello, welcome back to Blender and LiveEnOding. In this episode, I'm gonna teach you how to create something like this. So it's basically, it looks like a rocks or stone or asteroids, and it's all procedural, and it looks pretty convincing. And that's thanks to this remesh modifier. Without this remesh, this actually looking just something like that. And you might think, okay, I know how to create that, right? Using SVerchok. So yeah, let's actually do it. It's basically a bunch of circles that you circle pack it into a triangulated mesh. All right. So there is this node. It's called inscribed circle. So that's a very strangely named node. Basically, you can have triangles, triangulated mesh, and you can put circles inside the triangles. So it's like circle packing. So you can start with something like box. And then let's create a subdivision. So I'm gonna, subdivide this box. So let's save this as steroid or asteroid. So we're gonna subdivide it. So we have some subdivision of the box, and we can actually smooth it, and we can cut more. And then after I do that, I like to have merge. So merge by distance. Also one of my favorite nodes, because this one is interesting. You can have anything, and you can increase the distance. It's gonna collapse it into triangles. Almost all of them triangles. So you still need to have a triangulate mesh. So now we have just triangles, right? We can do things like dual mesh, etc. But let's just put in this guy, inscribed circles, and now we are kind of stuck, right? This one doesn't have vertices and edges. We actually need a circle. So we have this radius, circle goes in there, and we have the matrix. Surprise, right? Surprise. Suddenly it's almost like fully covering the mesh, almost, but it's okay, we can live with it. So it's not 100%, but not too bad. And after we do this, okay, this one create a lot of objects. Let's actually just join them using mesh apply this guy, not this, but this one. Always got that confused a little bit. This is something that you'll learn after using SVerchok for almost 10 years, or maybe 5 years. So you got this thing, right? And then from here you can really just solidify. You have a single object, and you just solidify. You can solidify in or solidify out. It's totally up to you. They both equally interesting. And at this point, you can really actually do something creative, like the radius. You can multiply it or just add. So it's they're overlapping, and now from here, just viewer mesh. So the thing with the Voxel Remesher, I found it with Voxel Remesher, you can really make anything, right? You can have any primitives like cube, just overlap them as long they have volume, enclosed volume. You can have anything, design anything, and then join them, and then you just Voxel Remesh it. So there's nothing wrong with actually doing it this way, because this is actually really powerful. It's almost like SDF, or what is it in Houdini, VDB. It's like a volume that can be turned into a mesh, some sort. And so yeah, with SVerchok, with something like SVerchok procedural workflow like this, you can create anything. So now we end up with this stone looking objects. You can always randomize or use noise. Just randomize this guy and randomize the seed. So you end up with something that looks like cheese asteroids. Let's just call it that. Cheese asteroid. You can use the fractal here. Randomize the seed. Really, this is what I want to show you, but I'm gonna show you something. Show you another thing. You can have random of anything. Not this randomized, but a random vector. So this is another quick little trick that you can do. You merge it in the end. You start with any primitive generator here. That's actually a volume, can be used. For example, this box. So instead of merging here, like I said again, use matrix apply, plug this in there, unplug this, plug this there. So you can now transform this to the left, to the right. So I've shown you this perhaps in the past. You can randomize, you can make anything, right? Maybe have a little bit more of this cube. This is a single object already joined. You can use remesh modifier, and that's really a kind of like a sculpture or something. It's something, you know. It's not just totally random. And you can plug this random there as well. You can randomize, and this is also, it's looking like something like a stone or something, and you can play around with the resolution here, and you can randomize the box, whatever. It's a similar ideas, and you can end up with unlimited variations. Not just the box, you can also use sphere or icosphere. Plug this in. See, it's similar idea. It's almost like a VDB, like almost like a fluid thing. So anything, you can design anything this way actually, even though, as long you don't worry about the topology too much, because the topology is not, it's not ideal maybe for what you're doing. You can always, however, use something like what is it, Voxel Remesh and quad remesher. So trying to make the topology a little bit better. Doesn't always work. Like a sphere, you can also use cylinder, randomize the cylinder height, all kind of trick like that. So that's a cylinder. Different height, different length. That's a kind of arty. Randomize the rotations a little bit. So what is this? It doesn't look like anything. It looks like a mesh, soup mesh, right? But it's a very natural looking object. So you can end up with thousands of ideas like this, but it's just 2 ideas. So hopefully you find this interesting, this cheese asteroids or spaghetti, alien spaghetti. Yeah, I think I'll call this asteroid cheese alien spaghetti or meatballs. Yeah, call it meatballs. All right, hopefully, but however, this is useful for you. Let me know if you have any more question or ideas to add to it. Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.